welcome back to the Dekkster and Dera podcast. This week we actually have the most special guest we've ever had on the podcast, the only guest we've ever had on the podcast. You guys are actually the first. You might not know this. We've never invited anyone on. It's just been me and Dekks over here, Dekkster, for the longest time. But let's go ahead and get an intro, I guess, from you guys. Like, you want to give us just a short, who are you? I'm sure most people know BEN BRODE, Kent-Erik. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure, I'll get started. Hi, I'm Kent, or Kent-Erik. I'm our Associate Design Director on Marvel Snap. I don't know, I've been here 3 years and having the time of my life working on Snap.
Awesome. And Ben?
I don't get to introduce myself?
You're next. Who are you?
Oh, God.
Who are you?
Hey, I'm BEN BRODE. I'm Chief Development Officer here at Second Dinner. Grilled cheese enthusiast. I have a burgeoning rap career on YouTube. And I love food. I have a website where I recommend the best restaurants in Orange County to travelers to this region.
You had a whole website?
That. He does.
Wow!
It was at Brode's Best, right? Yeah.
Yeah, brodesbest.com.
So what's the top of the food recommendation list? I still know a lot of the places around there, I feel like. So,
It depends on what you're in the mood for. Maybe Korean barbecue. I'd recommend Shiktarok.
Yeah.
Perhaps you want some Chinese food, maybe Szechuan Impression, or
Szechuan
one of my
Impression
new favorites.
Was a favorite.
Oh yeah, La Superbirria in Santa Ana has incredible. But these days it's not on my website yet. I'm gonna add it soon. It's the Parlor in Tustin. Is
the Parlor?
Absolutely ridiculous. Oh my goodness, woo, y'all!
I haven't heard of that.
I'm going
so
tonight.
Good.
I'm going tonight.
It's,
what kind of food is it?
8 o'clock. It's Italian food. Best pizza in Tustin. They have a wood-fired pizza wood-fired pizza oven, and they have like a zucchini flour and lemon pizza with burrata cheese. Yo!
Oh wow!
Wow!
This place is ridiculous. It's so good. Their guanciale pizza with pepperoni is also nutso. Yeah, highly recommended. Enjoy your dinner tonight, Dekks.
I will. Well, best yakitori. I just had yakitori. Was it last night? Yeah, Honda is the best. See, I didn't even look, but I agree. I agree with this. It's correct. It checks out. I spot checked.
It checks out.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you said Szechuan Impression was on the list, I already know you have good taste. So
yeah, look, this is a food podcast, right? That's why I agreed to join.
That it literally is. So half of our questions are about grilled cheese. So I'm glad you already brought it up. So it makes it a lot easier. But you guys had a big launch this week, right? You guys had Conquest come out, right? That's pretty exciting.
That's right.
Are you guys happy with how it's going? Have you guys been playing it at all? Any Infinity tickets from either of you?
No Infinity tickets from me yet, sadly.
Also not from me. Yeah. A lot of close losses.
That's I guess for the Infinity, I had a question. Like, did you guys specifically hold it back for the last week just for like the queues, or was there some other reason why you guys wanted to hold back the Infinity Conquest? I guess for the last week.
Because the playoffs are exciting. That's why.
It's for playoffs. It's like for the playoffs, being like everyone's coming together and just like
this is. It gives you that sense. When something's always available, it's less special. But when something like you got to build up and the anticipation, there's just way more excitement around it, right? It gives you all kinds of concentration of focus. It certainly doesn't hurt queue times by having it always only up during that last week, but that wasn't necessarily the primary motivation.
Yeah.
Or at least Brode, I know Brode pitched some version of this like years ago. So I don't know, Brode, did you have some other motivation when you pitched this?
I'm really excited about it. I think seasonality is it adds a lot of texture, right? Like you said, Kent-Erik. But like, I'm like really excited that there's still more to Conquest here, right? Like we've all been playing it now for a few days, and it's really fun. It's new, and like we haven't even yet seen everything there is to offer here, and that's awesome. I don't know. I'm really stoked, and it's gonna change every month, right? So much happens each month in the game that like every Infinity Conquest will be different, right? New cards will have been released, balance changes, the things that we've learned about the top end of the competitive ladder are just gonna be different a month from now when the next Infinity Conquest starts, and that's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very true. Like, if the Infinity Conquest is only 1 week out of the 4-month period, I feel like that limits it because like you do have like the rolling updates, right? Where you have like one card a week. You have the small changes that you do 3 out of the 4 weeks of the month coming up, right? So you're gonna have like a lot of changes that all happen at once. So the difference between one Infinity Gauntlet to the next is gonna be much bigger than like a week to week if you had it every single week, right? I think that's really cool.
It's like seeing your friends' kids. Every time you see them, you're like, what the hell? How did you get so large? You know, it's like, but if you see them every day, you're like, oh, they're the same all the time. But like, you know, the fact that it comes back once a month, you're like, oh, it's back! Wow! Let's go!
The meta's so different this month, right? You know, compared to 4 weeks ago.
That's true.
Which was what we're hoping for.
Yeah, that's true. Ever since High Evolutionary released, I feel like the meta's been evolving a lot. No pun intended there, but
Yo, you been how long you been waiting to pull out?
that actually was completely unintended. But I do think that one thing I think is cool about Conquest mode and just battle mode in general is that it feels like there's a little bit different of a meta just inside of that than in ranked ladder. Do you guys have any like I guess decks or cards that you think are better in Conquest than like outside, or that you guys like to bring in for Conquest?
So I think there's some cards that are worse, certainly, right? Cards
Worse.
that like once you know about them, you're like, well, I'm just gonna play around that.
Yeah.
And I think also like those like cards that you want to be a surprise, right? Your game plan is to like, you know, catch them off guard with some trick. Those cards are certainly worse when you know you see them coming once, right?
Galactus.
Galactus is a great example.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Galactus actually, from what I've seen, is actually pretty okay with the new build because you can still have some interactions. Dexter was just playing a fun deck.
It's so fun. It's just more goblin oriented, I feel like. But it's like vipers and goblins, and then
so
you just Galactus on a lane where they have a bunch of garbage. It's fun, but also like because it's battle mode, you're holding your Galactus. You don't want to show him too early. You want to wait for a 4-cuber.
You don't want to show Galactus unless 4 or 8 are on the line.
Yeah.
It's not worth. Galactus is not worth 2 cubes or 1
exactly.
cube. Like, no, you need to get 4 or 8 to make it worth
I think
is Cosmo better in battle mode because you have more knowledge of what their game plan is?
Yeah.
I think it depends on the decks that become popular, right? So I do think it is good. Like right now, it seems like some of the top decks are like Jane Jaw and some other like very tempo-oriented decks that just put out a lot of power. So Cosmo can almost hurt you sometimes because you can't get a Shang out there, which is like a little bit interesting. I found that when I was playing.
I was getting destroyed. Yeah, I was getting destroyed by Cosmo with my Galactus Goblin deck. I'll tell you what. But
yeah.
So
I think Wave though, super good.
Wave is
it kind of shut out the kitty
decks.
decks.
Yeah, I think fixers are really good in battle mode just because they can smooth out some of those highs and lows. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Scarlet Witch ends up becoming like a standard, you know, card you start to run just in battle mode because of, hey, you know, there's just certain locations that are just gonna screw you.
Yeah.
Or you know, or can screw your opponent. And
so wouldn't Scarlet Witch though also potentially screw you? that seems to be the case with me.
Oh yeah.
Whenever I play Scarlet Witch, anytime I try and fix something, it just gets worse. I don't know.
It's bar with no name.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I gotta run Storm.
Storm. That's why I think Storm.
Storm is actually probably gonna see. Yeah.
One of the best cards in the
Storm's
game, I
probably
think, right
better.
now. Yeah. Storm and Magic might see some.
Storm used to be
Storm and Doctor Doom.
Storm used to be a 1/1. She was totally broken.
Oh,
really?
1/1. Oh,
yeah,
man.
that was how.
Yes, you would play Storm on turn 1, and then like play Lizard on 2, or actually I think Lizard was still a 2/4 in internal test.
Wow.
But there was something you would play, and it's just like
Silk.
Yeah, we're like, this isn't super fun having a location locked down.
It just kept getting worse. It kept making her worse and worse. She's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we nurtured a 2, and then we nurtured a 3, from a 3/3 to a 3/2. Yeah, I was like,
At 3/2, I think she's still one of the best cards.
I think, yeah, she
it's
feels
crazy
good.
how good that lockdown kind of archetype is right now. And I think Silk that just came out is great in that archetype, just being able to slip in there.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I love Silk.
The cards that are good in the deck are the cards that are good against that deck are also the cards that are good in that deck.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times it comes down to, do you both have Doctor Doom, and whoever's higher in both
Right.
places like end up winning. But yeah, if one person doesn't have it, they win. So it's just like a lot of times it comes down to that decision. But
Dr. Doom's having a bit of a moment right now, as the kids say.
Yeah, Dr. Doom, it's been popular for a bit. I hope you guys don't nerf it because I love that card. I think it's like a good strong, me personally.
It feels strong, but it feels right. I feel like it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't need change. Like that and like Storm
unfair,
as well. It doesn't feel
what
unfair.
What a hard line to walk, right?
Yeah.
Like
that's
like
that's what you want.
I mean, a lot of cards are strong and don't feel fair, but yeah, you're right. He feels, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
it is probably one of the best cards in the game. Like, if you were to nerf it, I hope not too much, but please don't. No.
Please.
Like, are you? I guess how much do you guys each personally, I guess, take into nerfing cards? Are you guys like involved in that? I think Kent-Erik, you're like very involved, I would assume.
Glenn, honestly, is the one who's running point on that stuff. Okay. Yeah. No, Glenn is bringing to bear a lot of expertise. My focus has been more on like Conquest mode and like larger feature type stuff that we're trying to get out for the game. And Glenn's been tackling the card design and honestly doing an awesome job of it.
Yeah.
And I love how he's been super active with y'all on like Twitter and Discord to answer questions for our community.
Yeah, I super appreciate.
I wish I could take credit for all the awesome changes he's done. But
yeah, I think he's done a great job with with anything that's come through, like the OTA updates and all that. I think it's been very smooth and like nothing has gotten like super unbalanced or whatever. I think there was only like the one change to leader that like nerfed it to the ground. That kind of like was the only kind of over nerf. I feel like it.
Yeah. Where ever since then we've been a little bit more, let's not leader a card again. You know, like especially with Galactus, like that was a really like something we were very concerned about. Here was this Perma Series 5 card, 6K tokens, like plus he just got an awesome, really cool, unique effect, and it's Galactus. If you know anything about Marvel and about Galactus, so it was like, okay, how do we like preserve this card, but like we do need to bring it down a notch. Like it's just very frustrating to play. It undermines some of the core fun of Snap of like, I'm going to win 2 out of the 3, which 2? Oh no, there's just one location.
Yeah.
And so, it was very much a thorny problem that we were working on for quite some time before landing on this solution. And I'm super glad to hear when you guys like started off like, actually no, he's still good.
I like
it.
Good.
Still playable, and I think it's fun. Yeah.
Our content design team has done an incredible job, Glenn and Jason. And also, like the engineers of the team have done a great job getting us the technology to do over-the-air buffs and nerfs.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you guys remember the Nova Carnage days? It's like
I
far cry from where we used to be. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot better now. And that feels great.
Oh, Nova.
Yeah, Nova, Devil Dyna, Moon Girl, back when they were 3 costs, both of them.
Devil Dinosaurs and 3 costs.
Yeah, that was those were some insane times back then. But it is nice to see that you guys have the ability to make the changes like quicker if you release a card that's completely busted or something that like I do like to see that you guys are bringing some of the underused cards up from like because a lot of them just saw like almost no play at all, especially if they're like Series 5 and they're bad. Like that's kind of like hard to a lot of people to justify.
It's the worst. Because it's like we did nothing. We have the system where we release new cards every week. It's new content. The game's different. The game's new and exciting. Again, but if the card is bad enough that nobody plays it, then it's not new content. We didn't do anything this week. It's it's just the same as last week, and it's just not. It's not what we want. We want like exciting new stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys like happy?
Yeah, Glenn and Jason have been doing a great job for these upcoming cards.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
I was just gonna say, are you guys like happy with how the acquisition like cadence has been, and if you like how new cards are coming out, or you guys have any like future plans of how you can update it or what's going on? I know you guys might not be as directly working on that, I guess, but you guys had any thoughts on how you feel it's going and how it's in general?
Yeah, we do have thoughts, but I think we're going to announce some stuff in that vein soon. So we're not allowed to like jump the gun there.
Gotcha. I know you guys have said some acquisition changes are coming. I guess it was more just so. I guess since they're coming, I guess that means that you would think there is improvement.
And this
place for it.
This is just like true across almost everything. Like the work of making a game like Marvel Snap is never ending in an exciting and fun way, right? Like we're gonna keep making the game better every single patch, and we have like tons of ideas, and some of them will be new exciting stuff, and some of them will be like, that thing we tried didn't quite work. Back to the drawing board. Let's try again. We've already done that a bunch of times, and I'm sure there'll be like a ton more. So some of the stuff we try will be awesome, and some of it will be less awesome. But we're gonna keep trying we'll keep trying new stuff.
Great, yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to hear. I'm excited to see what the new stuff that you guys are announcing soon is going to be. I don't know if I know a lot of people in the community are excited to see what that's going to be as well. I guess like speaking of like other new stuff kind of that's coming up. I don't know if like we had talked about, Dekkster and I had been talking about this, and we played like a pick ban mode ourselves. Like, are there any other game modes, I guess, that you guys are like you guys don't have to say exactly, but just like in the future, I guess, like game modes coming out that you guys might be excited for? Are there plans for like future game modes outside of Conquest mode? I don't know if like, cause you, Kent-Erik, do you prefer Kent or Kent-Erik? I should have said that at the beginning, but
Kent is fine.
It's fine. I didn't know if it was like a tag.
I call myself Kent. So.
Yeah. Okay. So Kent, if there's like slightly like internally, you guys have been like Conquest was your thing that just came out. Like, is there more game modes planned for the future?
Yeah, I mean, as a game designer, and I'm sure Brode can attest to this, like, we can't sit still is like kind of like how I like to think about it. We're always thinking about new ways to play. And, and I think one of the goals that we always have is like, how can we make more of your collection matter, and like, how can we find new fun ways to interact with old toys that you may have set down because the meta shifts, right? And part of that's like, the meta will shift back based on different OTAs or new cards that come out that make things more relevant again. But I think absolutely new modes. I mean, like Conquest is just doing now. Like there are certain cards that are going to start seeing more play and other cards seeing less play in Conquest. But then when you swap back to our standard mode, you might pick those toys back up. And so in a similar vein, like we do want to try new things. I'm purposely not like detailing explicit stuff because we're still really early on trying new stuff. Right. But we get lots of cool suggestions from the community. I love seeing it. Just really sparks my creativity, like seeing what folks are like, have you tried this kind of a draft or this kind of a pick ban, or like what about this, or like we did with the Twitch Rivals stream, like having all those interesting
that was fun.
Different
that was fun,
deck restrictions. Yeah, like which ones were your favorite to play with? Would love to. The designer in me is like,
did you guys come up with those? Was that second dinner that?
Me, I think Glenn, Jason, I think Brode, you pitched some of those too, I think, right?
I can't remember. I did pitch a bunch of modes. I don't know which ones. Were mine.
Oh, they were like deck restrictions.
Like,
hey, you can have 1/6 cost, and then everything else has to be 3.
I thought that was interesting.
One of them.
That was one I lost, unfortunately. But
like your general mode, like or who's your like arch villain, or what did we call it? I can't remember.
Yeah, I like the Guardians themed one because it kind of went with the season. I think at the time of release. I didn't know why Drax wasn't included, but I didn't complain because he,
Yeah, it was all the Guardians with Drax. He felt sad,
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was fun. I think.
Well, it's because we required shirts, and he can't really wear shirts.
Oh, okay, so. Yeah, that makes sense now. I enjoyed all the modes. I think the one that I found least exciting of them was just use a new card, because then it was everyone playing a meta deck or something like that, which was fine. But I like the deck building aspect. I enjoyed that tournament a lot. It was my favorite tournament I participated in, not just because I won, but it was good. I liked it.
It might have some slight influence.
It might, yeah.
I really liked the one where you had to include one of each power, even though I think I also
that was cool.
Or maybe I won that one. I think I lost that one actually, but it was still like it even in 10 minutes, it was actually a lot harder of a deck building challenge than I expected it to be. So I
the time restriction was crazy.
I couldn't think of like a cohesive one of each power. There's 12 different powers you have to put in a deck, and that's actually a hard thing to do from because a lot of cards overlap that you want to put it in. I feel like at the power restriction. So the two of each.
Did you start with the bigger ones? You're like, well, there's only one 12 power card, or there's only one. Actually, I guess there's two 12 power cards, right? No, there's like 3 or 4.
There's several.
There was a lot of overlap there.
Sorry, in my head, Hulk is still 9 power sometimes. So
9 power. Wait, it was 9 power at one point.
That's where it started.
That's where it started.
Wow.
Abomination
it's
power.
Actually an interesting challenge.
Abomination was 6.
Building out the curve of what we call vanilla, because there's no flavor cards.
Yeah.
How much?
Even though vanilla is the best flavor.
Well, like the default, I guess. It's TCG jargon. We didn't come up with it. But
I just give you crap.
How much power should a 1 cost card give you versus a 6 cost card give you? And then each one of those in between is some ratio, right? Is it 1 cost for 2 power, right? Then should it be 2 is 4, 3 is 6, 4 is 8, 5 is 10. 6 is 12, or is there some kind of penalty for it's taking up a slot? The 2 power costs something, so maybe it should be a slightly better rates at the one cost, but you can't get like a smooth. We don't have like, okay, you get 3.7 power for a 3 cost. You know what I mean? Like it's you have these weird breakpoints. It was really challenging actually.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
We went through a lot.
I was gonna say, have you guys thought about ever adding like a 0.5 card or something, or like this always wins tiebreakers card or something like that? You know? Like,
that's cool.
We had a joke card for a long time that was like you win tie games.
Oh, you win tie games, like full tie games. I feel like that I thought that would be an interesting card in general, just like because there is that like there isn't that 0.5, you know, just like the sneak you up there. But
yeah,
it would have to be like.
Yeah, winning tie locations, I think, is way more relevant than winning tie games.
Yeah,
so.
it is way more relevant. Yeah, because tie games, I think I've only had like 10 out of the thousands game I've played.
I know I remember we went to one of our when we first got data stood up and like, all right, like here's like 10,000 games of Snap. It was like, and how many were ties? It's like, oh geez, like, almost none. Yeah.
I think that's good balancing though, if that's the case, that you guys just like, because I feel like a lot of times in games that have ties, like. If you just think about like chess, like that is a lot of draws, you know, like so there's like a lot of games that do have that, and it feels better to win or lose. Well, maybe not lose, but you know, than to tie. I feel like a lot of times
to be decisive. It feels better to be decisive.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. But yeah, I guess like for my game mode that I was personally hoping for was like a draft mode, and you said like ways to use your collection. Do you think that like a draft mode would be like problematic in the game because if you're drafting from like not your collection potentially?
I think there's ways around that if we wanted to. More draft mode is that they tend to be more narrow of an audience that is like wanting to participate in that kind of activity because it is very like mentally taxing to figure out how to build a deck. Doesn't mean we can't do it. Doesn't mean there's not ways to do it that is more like approachable and like can hit wider swaths of players and bring more joy. And then also like there's been lots of really interesting takes on draft from different games that are totally super fun to explore and like fun to ask the question of like what would this be like in Snap. And so one thing we love to do is like do paper prototype tests where we don't necessarily write any code, but like we just hop on a call and like, all right, now pretend that we have this rule and like let's play against that.
So you guys do a lot.
I don't know, Bro, do you have anything fun to? Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying you guys do a lot of like play testing where you're just like figuring out cool new modes and whatever that you would want to play or things like that. Like,
yeah,
awesome.
Super fun. That's why I love this job.
Yeah, that'd be a good job to have. Yeah,
it is.
Ben, did you have someone?
It's only fun when the thing you play testing is actually fun, which is only some of the time.
That is true. That is super true. I do want to quickly dispel any myths or dreams of what it's actually like. Have you ever played an unfun game? Okay, now imagine doing that for like 5 hours a day.
Right. Yeah, you start. Things don't always start.
And then
fun.
spend the other 3 hours talking about why it wasn't.
Yeah, right. Things start not fun, and then you have to like coax them into fun over time. That's often how it goes. Yeah, draft is interesting. It is. It's like it's a really fun mechanic. It's super fun. I think. It's certainly like a place that I think we talked about. In my GDC talk, I talked about how we prototyped 2v2 long ago with paper cards, and it's pretty fun. It's just like, an enormous amount of like redoing the whole game, the architecture to do something like that. And there's probably better uses of our time before we, make it all the way down the list to 2v2. But yeah, draft is pretty cool. It's something that I imagine, even if we don't have like a mode that like does that, what's cool is like a lot of community sites have popped up to like allow people to have that experience, and they're great actually. They're really fun. So like if people want to run draft tournaments or whatever, they can do that right now with some of these community tools. So I think it's pretty rad.
Yeah, I think that is cool. It is just one thing is like if you don't have the collection for it, so those people like I know in Hearthstone one of the things that I liked when I first joined Hearthstone was the ability to hop into Arena because I didn't have a collection yet. So it's like it didn't require a collection to get in there. But I do know that this game is very different than Hearthstone in the collecting process. So it is like a full different experience when you're collecting.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yep.
I would love a draft mode. I mean, I'm always using like the other apps or web apps that people make all the time. It's just such good content. I think the main part where it becomes an issue is you guys are trying to be like collection oriented. And I think the reason why Arena was so successful was you don't need a full collection. It doesn't matter if you just started the game. You could just jump right into Arena and just start playing and kind of have access to all the cards. I mean, you probably lose because you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, I do. I think I love drafting. So.
Yeah, drafting is super fun. It has traditionally not been very popular from like an audience percentage perspective.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like tough to, I think we could do things where, and maybe they're draft like, I don't know, but we want to make really, really fun modes, and I'm sure we'll do cool stuff that you guys will love.
Yeah, I think.
Listen, we're in the early days of Snap, is how I like to think about it, right? We're not even a year post global launch. When's that? October.
Just barely a year.
There's still a long road in front of us of so many fun things we want to do. Like I kind of hinted at with Conquest, like we had versions of this a little bit different and slightly more stripped down, but like still like battle mode and runs like years ago that we couldn't quite get out there just in time for launch, and we're only just now getting to them. So it's like, all right, there's.
Oh wow.
We've crested one hill, but there's still like mountain ranges in front of us of awesome things to add this tomorrow.
Also excited for widescreen UI. That'll be nice.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one. Yeah.
That is a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it capture the PC audience, because I feel like right now Snap is mobile first. Obviously, I think you guys did. You guys hit it out of the park with like the design and everything, and how it looks on mobile and everything.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I think it honestly, Snap from a visual perspective, I think is one of the best, if not the best, like card game or game that I've like seen. Like I think you guys did a great job.
And the animations and everything, and it just feels so good.
Is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes. We got some incredible folks making really great decisions.
Yes.
Jamar Kindred, the art director on this project, I worked with him back at Blizzard on Hearthstone. That guy's incredible. The art team, the visual effects artists, it's unparalleled.
It is crushed.
So good, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts.
The card animation and effects are just out of this light.
It's hard to do right. It's not an easy thing to do, actually. And I think you kind of have to, like there's like a default instinct as an artist to like make something beautiful, right? But you also have to be kind of a game designer. You have to understand the player experience, and that like you kind of want it to be over real fast. You gotta like I don't want to spend my time watching a movie. I'm trying to make decisions, so that like that blending of like telling the story of the character and like why does Mr. Fantastic give +2 power to adjacent locations? Well, it's got stretchy arms, you can reach them. And without the visual effects,
and you have 1.5 seconds.
Tell that story. Make me smile. And then get it done.
And get out of the way.
Yeah, they did a great job there. Hey, are you guys planning? I guess I don't know, from the art direction. Like, I know Dekkster and I were just like talking about this. Like, if there were any other like splits and other things that were coming like down the pipeline, or I think you guys have hinted at it, or you said that there are things coming. But are there things you're excited for? I guess.
I can't commit to anything, but yes, we do want to do more splits, more effects.
That's a commitment. You just committed. That's absolutely a commitment.
I'm not committed to any specific kinds or what they're going to modify.
I think you guys you publicly have said I think that there are more comings already.
Yeah, I think Steven's posted that on Discord.
I think he has. Yeah, I'm like pretty sure there is one thing that he said that is coming. So. Like it's not like
I was really excited
a new thing.
when we got the colors out for the different flare mods, so that we had more than 4 flares, and we went to like 32. Like I was really excited just because it's like cool. Now there's like certain color combos you can chase.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite variant split combination that you guys like try and get for your cards?
Gold foil, gold crackle.
Ooh.
Gold crackle.
Here we go. I like Crackle's the best, right?
Yeah, Crackle is the best. Yeah, hands down.
It is.
And I'm also a gold person. I try and get full gold decks. That's I'm not an Inkify like a lot of people out there, but
I do prefer gold.
Ink is not my jam. I like high saturation. So I actually like the rainbow foil.
The rainbow
prism.
foil.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a foil guy. I don't know.
All right.
Were there any plans on letting people choose like what border? Because sometimes I have just like a base card with the gold orange border, and I don't want to progress this. I want to split it, but I'm gonna miss this gold frame. Is there any plans on that?
So early on, we felt like it was really important to understand what quality a card is at, and so we're like, if we mess with the border colors, that really makes it hard to know how many do I need to upgrade this card? When can I upgrade it? Or my opponent plays it? Do I need to know the quality? I definitely think when your opponent plays it, you don't really need to know the quality. It's like way less important the further along you get, because you realize like, it's just more of a cosmetic thing. But for your own cards, there is definitely like there can be some confusion if your border color doesn't match quality, because then you don't know like, wait, where am I at in the upgrade process on this card? Like, have I finished it or not? Not to say that, like, we couldn't overcome that problem with other solutions, because I know it's like one of the most repeated, oft requested, feedbacks from the community. Like, hey, let me choose my border color, or let me somehow customize my border color. And we have some interesting ideas around there, but they're still just kind of in the idea phase about, how can we deliver a satisfying experience around that.
I do think there's a lot to do in the Infinity Split system. It's one of our most satisfying systems. It's like one of the ways in which players can create their own goals, right? Like, we have a lot of goals that would get Infinity, win an Infinity Conquest, do your daily missions. But this is one that's not like one that we tell you to do. It's just like we put these systems in there and players create their own goals. It's pretty satisfying, actually. It feels pretty good. So I think it's definitely like a ripe space for, more stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree. I chase that full gold deck all the time. That's like one of my, I face a couple people and I'm always super like, oh man, this guy's literally got a full gold. And when it's like an off meta deck that's like not super great, I'm like, what is this person doing?
Oh god.
There's one person I face all the time.
That's nerve wracking right there.
Yeah, he's got a full discard.
They clearly know what they're doing, and you have no idea.
Yeah, that person's been grinding that deck forever. That's the thing. Yeah.
Carrot with the full gold discard.
Carrot. Shout out to Carrot. Yeah. Yeah. He's the only person I've seen, I think, with a full like off meta gold deck. I think.
Yeah.
He queues into us a bunch.
I jump around decks way too much to do that.
Yeah. Do you guys play a lot of the live game? Do you guys like queue like ranked or?
Depends on the month. So like we get like builds early to right, like before they go up on the. So we're testing a bunch of internal builds, and then like the one that right as about to go in the app store, they send it out to the team, and like some of us upgrade early to check it for bugs and stuff before it goes live, and so. It's not quite. I mean, it's like live-ish, right? We have like the balance changes, a week before everybody else gets them or something. But it's close. And then the rest of the time, once that ships, then we're on the live build until the next patch.
So how many different live builds do you guys, or not live builds? Sorry, dev builds do you guys have like behind the scenes that you're currently like working on at one time? Is it like do you have like 3 different versions or more, like 10? Like is it like 8?
10?
Wow. It's a lot.
This gets more like software development and what's optimal for developing different features. But like, having things in their own branch just makes it a little bit easier to like maintain it versus if you have to merge your code with what somebody else is doing on something else, like it can just become a bit of a mess. So every time we want to test something new, it's like, oh, that's a new branch, new build.
Yeah, features are worked on in contained space because like as you build it, it's broken. You get people collaborating on it. Like I'll check in the textures and you do this thing, and then I'll hook up all the buttons, and so it's like it's in a state of disrepair. And then once it's done and QA checks it over and it feels good, then we just it goes into the main build. But so there's all these versions that are kind of living and testable, and then also like once those have all gone in, they've gone into like a patch, right? Like okay, let's put this in our patch 17 or our patch 18 or whatever, and so then those are also like things that are playable that the team is jumping on and playtesting.
So do you think that, like, I know there's been like a couple small issues here and there when like some things have gone live. Do you guys think that like the merge process is like causing some of these issues, or is it just like miss QA or like?
No, this is part.
It's software development, yeah.
But we've just actually hired a bunch of additional QA resources. They're awesome. So I think we'll see even better results in the future.
That's awesome, yeah. I think people would be happy to hear that.
How large is the team right now?
The studio is like under 80, but not like way under 80. And most of that is Marvel Snap. And then we have people like, facilities and recruiting and HR and, stuff that's like business running operations stuff.
Are they not considered under the studio? Those business operations people?
They are. Yeah, that's part of this.
Okay, they are. Okay, that's part of the 70 plus. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Part of Second Dinner, but not necessarily like Marvel Snap specific.
Gotcha. So Second Dinner, does that mean that there are like, do you get? I know you guys are focused on Marvel Snap. I don't know if maybe this is a too broad of a question, but do you guys have any few like this is just like do you see Second Dinner for the next like 10 years being like Marvel Snap, or is there anything else? You know.
I mean, I'm sure we'll make more games eventually, but
eventually, but it's like that's your
Marvel
focus
Snap
now.
is like the focus for the studio. It's like, you know, what are, you know, our foot's on the gas right now, you know, like we're loving it. We're you know, we're all in on this thing. So
that's awesome.
Let's get more gas in the tank. Let's go. We got cool features to make. Let's make them.
I also was just curious how you feel like both of you guys worked at Blizzard, right? You were on Heroes, right, Kent? And then Ben, you obviously Hearthstone for a long time. How do you guys feel like working for Second Dinner compares to working for like Blizzard or a bigger studio? Like, do you like the smaller studio feel, or like working for something like Blizzard? Does it have its ups and downs, or?
There's pros and cons to everything, right? In life, really.
Yeah.
And
yes.
it's nice that you know, being smaller lets you be a little more flexible. You can move a little quicker, right? There's just like layers of you know, at a big studio you want to like have processes that are really scalable, right? That's like, you know, more important than being agile, is that you have to have, you know, something that works for a 4,000 person organization, right? So that's just like not a requirement for, you know, a little indie studio, right? Is that it has to scale to 4,000 people. So there's stuff that we can maybe move a little bit faster on, right? And then we also don't have like you know, the resources of a 4,000 person studio, right? If we need playtesting on a new thing, we gotta like, you know, let's ask the people here, you know? It's just a different scale of thing. So there's pros and cons. It's like you know, I really like it. I you know, I love everything about every job I've ever had. I miss working at the pizza place I used to work at. It's just like I'm kind of a happy guy. I don't know if this is something you realized. I'm pretty optimistic happy guy. I'm happy doing whatever. But I do really like the environment at Second Dinner. It's the you know, a culture in a studio is just the people. It's just an amalgam of the people who work there, right? And we somehow have amassed like the best crew of folks here. It's just
yes, we have
super low ego,
it's ridiculous.
Like really caring, wonderful crew of awesome game developers.
Yeah, you guys pulled over so many people that like I've worked with personally, and just like people I've seen. Like I know like I work closest with like Tien over there. He's great.
Oh yeah.
He was on my direct team at Blizzard, so we had a lot of
nice
fun interaction. But it's cool that you guys pulled over a lot of those.
He's smart.
Yeah, he's very smart. Him and his math PhD or what he's doing, and just yeah.
It's like I'm sorry. You have a PhD in computer vision?
Yeah.
Like,
he's doing a lot.
Okay,
a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, it's cool to see how your team has been growing too, and just like more and more people getting on it, and how like you guys are closing in on like what Hearthstone was like as a team size. I feel like from like back when it first started, you guys are already bigger than that, right? Like bigger than the initial Hearthstone team, I think. But
yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a different thing because, you know, we talk about small versus large. You could be a small team at Blizzard, but you've got an enormous like support infrastructure, a QA org, like a sound org, a localization org, a publishing org, battle nets, distribution, you know, sales. You've got like you've got an enormous you got a lot of
publishing
people
all that,
helping
like,
make a game, right? And you know, the Second Dinner, like, you know, when we were in person, we're fully remote now, but when we were in person, like, we were everybody who could do anything to make Marvel Snap a thing sat in one room, right? We now have a publisher, so actually a lot of the like some of those things are handled by our publisher Newverse, but like development is all us, right? So we have to have our own HR, we have to have our own like where are we going to sit, what does facilities look like, who gets the computers for new hires, right? Like that's just like it was all handled by someone not in the team.
Who picks up Starbucks?
Right. Yeah. So it's like different, right? Hearthstone we shipped a beta with 15 people. It was maybe double that for Marvel Snap at the whole studio, but yeah, we had to like bootstrap a lot of the stuff on our own.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's cool to see. the team in general. I don't know. Are you guys? I was kind of just curious, like what you guys said. You have the publisher Newverse now. Like, where's like the divide, I guess, and like what Newverse provides and what you guys end up doing? Is there some sort of separation?
Yeah, I mean, we just have different things that we're good at and that we are responsible for. So Newverse does all the publishing activities. That's marketing, localization, customer service, running the services, and we do the game development side. But there's like a lot of overlap, right? They have a lot of opinions about what makes great games. We have a lot of opinion on marketing, and so we talk a lot. It's like a very tight relationship where we are all, we're both like really excited and committed to make Marvel Snap awesome, right? It's like
ultra passionate.
Yeah, so we're like, it's great to have a partner to help us do that. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, no, they've been incredible in helping us do that. All that publishing stuff would have to hire a massive team to do that, and so it's been awesome to work with them.
And we may not ever get to the level of like reach and scale that they can provide.
Yeah, I just think from like a marketing perspective, I don't know if that was Newverse or you guys, just like I saw Snap everywhere. Like I in New York City, I see it in the subway, on the big like signs everywhere. Just like I was like, oh wow, this is like because I'd been playing the beta for the last 3 months, and now it's like everyone's seeing these ads everywhere. It's just like it's crazy how like you guys got the game out there, and I feel like you guys were number one in the App Store for a while. You guys were also like winning Game of the Year, all these things.
Yeah.
Like you guys won a lot of different awards, I guess.
That's been surreal.
Yeah.
That's been surreal. Yeah.
So you guys, is everything blowing away your expectations, or were you guys expecting to win all these things?
Yes.
Is that like...
I think Brode was expecting. I'm blown away.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised by the response. I think I don't know, like I'm used to getting pooped on some amounts. I expect a little poop. And it was a lot more of a warm reception than I expected, which is really nice. And especially the reception from both like press, like critics, I guess, and from the industry has been really nice. It's for some reason it's the kind of game that other game developers have really been embracing. And so like, just in our own industry, seeing a lot of people reach out and say, hey, everyone at the studio is playing this game. It feels great. So it's really nice after working on a game for so long to finally get it out there and have people enjoy it. It feels great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That game developer bit has probably been the most humbling, because that's just like the jury of your peers, giving you the like thumbs up on the side of the road. You're like, oh, we're like all cheering each other on to like make awesome games, and so it's been super humbling.
Yeah. Are there any games that you guys have been playing outside of Snap that you guys have been excited for? Is there anything else like you guys have been dabbling in?
I've been playing a lot of Zelda. I've been like me and my son lay on the couch and just playing like a bunch on the weekends. It's been really fun. That game is super good.
Really good, yeah. I've already started playing that as well.
I haven't played it yet.
It's excellent.
I have to. It's on my list.
It turns out, I don't know if you guys knew this, Nintendo's pretty good at making video games.
Wow. Okay.
It turns out, yeah. I personally thought that the Breath of the Wild was the best game that was like ever made for a while.
Ever made.
Like,
yes.
Yeah.
100% best
You
game
agree?
ever made.
All right.
Come out.
Wow.
Tears of the Kingdom is better.
Oh.
I haven't got far enough into it yet to make that determination, but I don't doubt it from where I'm at so far. So
yeah, it's just, I mean, it in some ways it's like, it feels like DLC or an expansion, right? Because so much is the same, but every system that should have been improved has been improved. Basically, like the tools you're given are better. The shrines are, I think, easier in a good way. Actually, they're more like the solutions are less rigid. You can kind of have more freedom to kind of solve them in different ways, which is like really interesting. The durability system is like the same. They solved it with a content solve. They made the durability lower, and you could fuse anything to your weapons. So you use the weapons. They're just kind of like, I don't know, I'll use this for a couple seconds, and I'll use this for a couple seconds, and like you just don't get attached to stuff. And every weapon is an opportunity to try something new. So it just like doesn't feel as bad as the durability. Cool. We could do another podcast on Tears of the Kingdom design.
Yeah. You're passionate about this,
I'm here for it.
It's up there with grilled cheese. It's just
yeah. Oh, I gotta make my Zelda rap.
I'm so excited.
I gotta work on that.
Oh yeah. Are there
yeah.
is there gonna be a Snap rap? I think everyone's been waiting for that.
No, unless Kent-Erik wants to do it.
Kent? You gonna commit to a snap rap?
Better brush off the skills and start practicing.
I had a quick question. How many grilled cheeses do you think you've consumed in your lifetime?
Oh, in the hundreds.
Hundreds? And how many per month, maybe?
Lifetime, though. Lifetime? Hundreds, maybe thousands.
Yeah, sub one a month.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I have been cutting back on the grilled cheese, and my son, who's memorized the whole song, says, "Dad," every time this plays, because the line is, "I eat grilled cheese every day, so listen to what I say." And he's like, "Dad, you don't eat grilled cheese every day. Why did you lie to your family?" He's like really concerned about it. I'm like, "Dude, it's exaggeration. It's appropriate. Everyone knows I don't eat grilled cheese every day, so it's not like I'm lying. It's like a joke for all of us to enjoy." Yeah, it's clickbait. It's exactly what it is.
Lyrical clickbait.
We're all about the clickbait over here.
Yeah, we do enjoy authentic clickbait.
Content creators. Yeah. All right. Well.
Hey, you guys have a hard job. Doing content creation is got to be incredibly exhausting.
Yeah.
But you guys
now do it on top of a full-time job, and then you do it. So.
It's draining. Yeah.
I remember trying to stream Heroes when I was working on Heroes, and I quickly was like, I can't keep this up. I'm just like, I was just collapsing at night.
I've done like 40 hours my real-time job, 40 hours of streaming in a week, and that's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. It's long days, but it's fun work. So, especially with Conquest mode, I feel like my time just flies by.
Yeah, Conquest mode.
I'm so glad that you.
An hour in Conquest mode feels so short, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh, great.
It's so.
I mean, you guys as like streamers were like top of mind with coming to Conquest. Like, hey, streamers gonna play this. They're gonna play the crap out of this. At least that's the hope. Let's like do what we can to make it awesome for them.
It's very mentally intensive. So I just disappear. I just tunnel vision, and
it is. You really you really have to. A line I would tell like team members like, all right, hey, get ready for a playthrough with Conquest. This is not your grandmother's snap. You gotta like sit down. You're gonna have to like lean forward. You can't just do this in between like commercial breaks or like in line at a shop or whatever. Like you need to like focus because it's gonna like even if you play a bot, you're like as we're doing internal playtesting, like I play a bot and I'm like, oh my gosh, the bot got me for 8 freaking cubes. Now I have to like, and I'm on my 3rd battle in the gold conquest.
Yeah. What we love about it is it's all the depth of normal Marvel Snap, but then also you're like getting in the mind of your opponent over multiple games and learning their deck and learning the way that they think, and that's like that's all additional depth, and so it's like a much deeper experience, which is fun.
Your feet will just fall asleep on the toilet doing it, but you're like,
do not recommend Conquest on the toilet. It's
Any last words from Kent, Ben?
Thank you so much for having us. It's super fun. It's really an honor to have been the first guests on your podcast.
Listen, we're just as big fans here and love getting to talk to you guys about Marvel Snap.
Thanks for making the time.
Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.